Alright, hi everybody, Sucrose back to play some Factorio. When we last left off, we had automated quite a bit of stuff, and we started running out of iron. So today, our goal is to expand, find another little patch of iron that we can conquer, and start to spit back to our base. We managed to research a couple of the beginning blue circuit sciences, and so we can make some advanced armor and weapon stuff. That should help us as we try to venture out. We had a bunch of stuff queued up here, which I don't remember exactly what we were doing. I think we were going to speed this. Yeah, I think we were going to speed this iron production up just a little bit. It's kind of a Hail Mary, because we're on our last leg anyway. So let's see. I'll go ahead and do it. But basically, as we fill this belt up and hopefully get this red splitter, so see how we're getting a lot more iron now, getting put out onto these belts. It should speed up our throughput a little bit, but it's only a stopgap measure. So once we get this second exoskeleton and this Mark II battery, probably gonna head out. Let's see, we'll have room for maybe some more solar panels, so let's pick up some solar panels. Then we'll just gear up and we'll head out and look for iron. Where was our solar panel production? We need some more green circuits. I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff running properly again once we get the iron we need. Trying to think of the things that might help the best, so probably we should get laser turret damage. We're looking for our green chest. It's not a whole lot. We'll pretty much always need solar panels, so there's no reason not to help them out. Alright, so we're building our second exoskeleton. I'll also queue up a few laser turrets. Grab some steel. Alright, so this battery is quite a bit larger than the other. It'll take a while to charge up. Our steel chest is here. Plenty of steel. This is where a lot of our iron went. Now, before we go out, if we find a place, we're going to want to build a few things coming back. We're going to want to build a belt system that'll carry the iron back. We're going to want to build walls. Grab some walls. Check our power. So during the day, our power is fantastic. We're really way more production than use. Consumption, I guess, is the proper word. Ooh, we filled up this chest. There's no way we're going to need all these walls, but we're just gonna grab them. We've also got these radars we'll plop wherever we go to help spot some more iron. So, because there's this big copper patch that we probably want to claim, I'm going to head north. Just because the copper's on the way. I think we built a couple walls here. So, let's see. Oh, let's build... let's get a couple more solar panels. There's no real rush. I mean, we still have a little under 200,000 iron, which honestly is plenty for the near future. But okay, so there's that. Could get another shield, but kind of surprised there's no level 2 solar panel. You have to get the next big thing is kind of a big step. Let's see, the last thing we need are drills, which I kind of think we have a few extra in our sort of storage chest here. Yeah, oops. Anything we want to drop off? Oh yeah, we should make some medium electric poles. So these, actually, I think we want to make these. These are for long distance traveling. That's fine. Got that. Okay. Don't think we'll need these gun turrets. Actually, I guess we might, just at the beginning, because before we get power up to our outpost, we might need to put some gun turrets down. So, all right, and tab switches weapons. And I think we're pretty good. Now, it's kind of crazy how fast we move now with 2 exoskeletons, but as you'll see, we'll eat through our battery pretty quickly. Yeah, we've got a little door. So this we're going to want to get once our original copper runs out. I've never used night vision, but considering how annoying it's been seeing at night, maybe we should try it out. If it makes it look like daytime, then I'll probably just leave it in, even though space is pretty important. The goal is to get out here to the black, where we haven't explored. I guess I should say the radar hasn't reached. And we can run pretty fast now, so my hope is that it doesn't take us a whole lot of time to find some iron. All right, so we've just started uncovering our first new blocks. We have to be wary, of course, that there's enemies out here. They will attack us if we get close enough. I'm just going to start doing some of this easy research that we've missed. So there's a whole bunch of biters. These are the aliens' names. I don't want to fight them. I'll switch to my shotgun just in case we do. In case we have to. But we're going to try to avoid them. Okay. So I'm just looking at the map. Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. We're kind of pinned in here, and we've just run out of power. This is kind of a small encampment. We need so many more solar panels to keep this thing charged. Look how slow we are now without the power for the exoskeleton. So there's a few things that we could do. We could make like a mini base, give it some accumulators and batteries, and solar panels, I mean, and plop down one of our radars. So let's go a little bit further north. I kind of like this idea. I don't know how it's going to... Iron, 5 million. All right. Well, that was relatively easy. So feels like a long way away, but I guess that's RSO for you. All right. So back to original plan. So we're going to put a wall around this, and luckily it's a nice and dense this is honestly far too big, but we have plenty of walls, so no big deal. All right, so this is our little base. Can we name things? Oh, we can. For now, I'll just call it Outpost 1. Maybe if anybody's interested in helping me name things, then we can give it a better name. So you've seen me do this before, but now we kind of playing for serious here, because we've got so much more iron, and it's going to last us for a long, long time. Well, let's hopefully. We're going to tile it with our drills, just like this. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just as long as you don't miss any patches. You have to come through and pick them up later. But we've got honestly, the exact number of drills that we might want. Now, until these start going, they don't actually produce any pollution. So I'm not going to piss off these enemies over here. But once they get going, they're going to make quite a bit of pollution. And we'll have to build some defenses. We should also get some of these efficiency modules, which I'll go ahead and just queue them up here. They're really slow to build by hand. But that'll reduce the pollution. So circuit network construction robots, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so considering all the iron that we've got, I'm probably going to lay down two two yellow belts full of iron. That's the idea, at least. Let's see. So we want. Should we put the door there? Yeah, why not? Let's put the door there. Okay, so we come and go. And then we'll want to kind of take, these are too small. Well, this one's small, but we join those up, and then I think what I'll do is come like this. There's all sorts of ways to do everything, and probably clean this up later. Now, this might seem fine because the splitters combine two belts, but what if everything is on the left side? So like this is going to be heavy on the right side, and then that right side's going to fill up because the splitters don't worry about sides. So what I'll do is I'll do our trick for balancing, which goes like that. So now this belt will be balanced, and then we'll also balance. Actually, we're not. So we won't worry about balancing this. We'll figure it out later. All right. Now we've only. Okay, here we go. Not sure why those didn't group up. Now these big electric poles have a huge range. So we're going to use those for distribution. For going all the way to the base. I don't want any tutorials. Okay, so that'll power up, I think, all of these. We want to take our laser turrets, and we'll start by putting them in each corner. I like to put it one tile back from the corner because I don't know if they fixed this, but sometimes biters can attack through walls. So like that. And we also know that there's this one here to the bottom left, so it's probably going to be attacked in this corner. So I'm going to put 2, 3, okay? And we've got to power these like that. And for good measure, just going to go around the edge so that if we ever want to come and add, oops, I mean this is fine, but if we ever want to come and add more more turrets, we can just do that pretty easily. Okay, so we're somewhat defended. Okay, let's put down our, just put it here. This will help us get radar in this area, so it comes out in like a spiral, I think. Okay, so this is all the basic stuff that we want. Once this gets power, it's going to start flooding these belts with with iron. And I'm just going to spread some of these little modules around. It's not going to help a whole lot, but it will help a little. Just trying to think if there's anything else we want to do here. It may be prudent, since we have these gun turrets, to go ahead and throw them in. Like, we don't know maybe what's on this side, so I'm just gonna throw this in. And maybe up the top too. Now hopefully these won't be necessary. Gun turrets, obviously they have ammunition. Where'd the other one go? There it is. And when they run out, they are useless. We can, just for kicks, we can kind of put a solar panel here to see what this is going to look like. It looks like it's not enough power to do anything, actually. Alright, well, forget that. The next step is to run power to this place and connect the belts up. So I think what I'm going to do, well, let's do some research. Oh, we need purple science for some of this stuff. We'll have to take a look at that. This is kind of our midterm goal. Once we get this fusion reactor, we can power up pretty much as many exoskeletons as we want. Similarly, this is a super big goal. Requester chests are key to getting these bots distributing stuff around our base. So yellow and purple science look like our next kind of mid to short range goals. I think they're kind of difficult. Let's get another mining productivity. I don't. Yeah. So I'm going to run power. We're just going to go straight down as best we can. And then we're going to run the we're going to run the belts next to it. Don't remember these stone rocks. They must have been recently added. Okay, so we have to put one here, and here. Got a little forest in the way. Yeah, there's no super important reason to get this so far apart. I'm just doing it because I can. It looks like we're going to be a little bit left of our base. That's going to be all right. Okay. So when we run our yellow belts down, we want to feed them into our current network. Now currently it goes from the bottom to the top. Oh, look at this. So these are these don't have any place to put their output, so we can help them out a bit. And then now this is actually full. These are being fulfilled again, so we can keep doing it. If we bring it all the way down to, didn't quite get it. All right, we need iron. And maybe another splitter. So if you have a filled up red belt and you bring it all the way down to where they start being used, that's good, because let's say it splits here. We might not have to make this red to actually increase the throughput, because you get, let's say, I don't know what the ratio is, two-thirds more or one-third more coming into the splitter, and so maybe this can be full and this can be full, whereas now this is actually not full. You see there's holes in it. I'm not sure if that makes a whole lot of sense, but hopefully I explained that well enough. But so yeah, so this is solid red. This is still stuck. It still can't put its product on the belt, so we're going to keep running red to the next splitter. So same idea as before, in that hopefully cancel. So hopefully this will be used, and then the furnaces can be putting their product onto the belt, at which point the overall throughput of the system is increased. I'm sure there's going to be people who study systems. I can't. What is the name of the field? There's this school of study that studies efficiency of systems. They'll probably be looking at Factorio for examples. Let's get one more splitter. You see how this is thinned out now? So there's space. It's only on one side, but it's an improvement over what it used to be. It used to be a completely full yellow belt. So now these are actually free to put their product on the belt at will. And they're all being utilized. So more throughput. So basically what we want to do, I think, for starters, is to have those yellow belts maybe just come down, honestly, just come down and well, there's two possibilities. One is to run this belt up and have them come down. The other is to have the new yellow belts run down and then feed up. I think I'm gonna use the path of least resistance for now. And just run the yellow belts down and then feed them into this. But honestly, we're going to want another array pretty soon. So it might be worth thinking about that. So for example, I could have, I could just put another array next to this. Like, and, oh, one off. That's the risk of building too quickly. There's a rule my grandfather always told me, which was measure twice, cut once. Right, so this, and then this, and then we'll also have another input. So all the belts will be going down. Boop, boop, boop. This is the idea. And what I'll do is I'm just going to have... The idea is, as we conquer more little territories like this, you know, they might be coming from all sorts of different directions, and they'll feed into this array from the top. And so, like, our two belts are going to be coming in like this. And for now, I'm just going to something like this. This isn't, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be something that we work with as we go. But I think this is the right idea. So the output is going to come down. Now this is going to be iron plates. And for now, I'm just going to bring them around and join them. We'll use a red splitter. I'm not sure I mentioned it, but the whole thing about upgrading to red is because they move more material per second. Actually, it tells you. So it's about twice as fast. So 13.3 items per second versus 26.6. But yeah, so that'll look like that. So now all we have to do, because this, once this has power, it's going to start feeding material on those belts. We have to connect it to belts. And that's not too big of a deal. I think I'll run them like this. It's kind of a shame that I have two, because it's hard to, it's much easier to run and put down one belt. So I'm just going to do that, and then we'll do the other one on the way back. Which side is this? This is the the right side, the top and right. Okay. And make some more gates. Now I could go ahead and power this, at which point it'll start producing. That's probably going to be fine. How do I want to do this? Maybe run it like this. But I don't. It might make so much pollution that they actually get attacked before we get back up there. But think it'll be all right. So that has power. So this should start making pollution. And actually, you see it already. It's very light red, but it's coming out there. It'll stop making pollution once once those belts fill up. How do I want to do this? I'm just going to go, I'm going to minimize turns. So I'm going to say come in, come out, come in, come out. Completely out of green belts. Okay, and if I remember, this was here, but I might be misremembering. It's not a big deal to just have an extra turn, which I just think is unattractive. But there's no speed penalties or anything like that for having turns. There used to be. Turns actually had a cost associated with. I believe that when you turn, you'd kind of lose compression. This was a while ago, but they fixed this. So, all right, this looks connected. So now we just have to. Can we make? I think we're fine. All right, so we run this back up, and then on the way down, we'll run the other bell. And while we're up here, we're gonna. Oops. We're going to consider provoking the enemy. Because if you kill them, but they can't attack, and if you let them attack, they kind of attack forever. It's not, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But there's incentives in place that aren't clear to the player unless they're spoiled. As you destroy enemies, the evolution of the enemies increases. And so once you start attacking enemies, they get harder and harder. Now how you'd know that, I don't know, but I've read stuff, so it goes back to the design principle of you should be able to play a game without reading the wiki. That's just my personal belief. But it seems like not everybody is on board with that. I was a little bit scared there for a second. I thought maybe we had been going the wrong direction on these conveyor belts. Sending material up, but it looks like we're good. We're going to have more than enough wood after all this is over. For the rest of the game, probably. Oops. Oops. What is that? Oh, they're weird looking trees. Right, I forgot about the water. Well, we'll just go around. Oh, you used to be able to build in the shallows. Just trying to... Now, this first base, this first outpost, we're going to use, I mean, as you can see, we're using belts. My goal is to use trains for, once we get further out, they are more interesting. easier to get higher throughput. But as a player, there's not a lot of disincentives to using belts. And I kind of don't like that. It's too easy to use belts. They don't take any power. Once they're there, they work, forever without any resources. And I feel like they're a little OP, just like solar panels. Okay, so that lined up with that one. Hi, Agglethorpe. Yeah, my understanding is that depending on how big your base is, you wind up getting killed by FPS drop more than anything. And bots actually have better frame properties than belts. So we connected up our belt system with just one belt here. We'll have to go get some more belts to bring them back. But that's gonna make it. And we should start getting fresh iron in our base, and then we can work on increasing the throughput so that all of our systems get iron. We'll probably take a little time to check our power and our accumulators. Yeah, we're still using steam engines at night, so we want to build some more accumulators. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. Oh, the pollution. Oh, they're definitely attacking. All right, let's head up and take a look at that. Not sure if we need to clear out their little encampment. But we are being attacked for the first time. It looks like our laser turrets destroyed them before they even got to the walls. Our iron is slowly making its way down. But that's another principle. It's like it's about latency versus throughput. So it's high latency to use these belts, very high latency, but the throughput is high as well. So everything's churning along here, as you can see. We've got it's being filled up because we're only taking one belt of output. But I think we can kill them. So that's what I'm going to do. They've drained through our shield pretty quick. We're not super strong. There's things shooting at us from a distance. That's a problem. But if we can kill them... There we go. So we got one of them down. We'll use the lasers to help protect ourselves. But they'll stop spawning once we kill their little towers. I mean, they're... What do you call them? Hovels. And the worms are kind of the most annoying thing, because we can outrun the biters. But the worms can't miss, which is kind of silly. Alright, so we got all the spawners. And there we go. We survived our first attack. So there's another base over here that looks like it's also getting touched by pollution, or it's very close to being. We may want to go clear it out. I'm very glad that we got all this stuff before we went out, especially the shield, because we may have died there. But yeah, I'm happy with this. So this looks like a bigger encampment, but it is being touched by pollution. So I think we should try killing a couple of the buildings. If we can just get one or two, that would be good. And there's no worms here, so actually it's easier. Okay. Use the lasers to finish off the rest. Yeah, those worms do a lot of damage. And that's a small worm. Alright, now we didn't explore all this stuff. There might be other encampments out here. I'm going to take a quick peek. Sometimes the forest can be your biggest enemy. You get stuck in the trees and you can't run. Oh, look at that. Oh, shit. So there's more iron out here. We lucked out. So I think that's 12 million total or so. Is that a resource? Oh, that's enemies. Oh shit, it's more iron. So now I'm clearing a path through the trees using my shotgun. So there's more biters up here, guarding some more iron, so we're gonna try taking them out. Now you can, of course, attack the biters with your shotgun. I'm just... because they spawn forever, I just tend to ignore them. Alright. So with... wait, are they still spawning? Oops. With these 3 iron deposits, we are set for a while. Oh. Oh, oh, ooh, that's a medium worm. God, they can attack from so far, too. If we could kill the worms. Oh no, our battery's dead. Oh shit. So our battery ran out of juice, which means that our shields stopped respawning. And we sat there and took quite a bit of the damage. We almost died. Let's head back to the little outpost for a second to take advantage of the turrets if we need them. So if we can take them out, that'd be great, because they are touching pollution, and so they're going to keep attacking the outpost as long as they exist. Let's just sit here and regen for a little bit. I'm going to check on some things. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, power is an incredibly important resource. We ran out and we got kind of hosed. I think let's come back to this once we get more power. So in the meantime, let's head back to the base. Let's get some more belts and bring back the second row of belts. Going down is a little quicker because we can take advantage of the speed of the belts. Should have put this radar up there, so we have two of them. But we can make sure that all this is flowing properly into our network. Yeah, it is quite a ways away once you do this run. Look at the distance you're traveling. We might spend a little bit of time making sure that, oh look, see, it's barely being used. Making sure that everything's efficient, or at least somewhat efficient. So, oh, I see, it's barely being used because we only have it hooked up to a single furnace. So let's get some furnaces going. So let's build some more furnaces. Let's get some accumulators. Let's do all this stuff that... Oh yeah, let's get all these accumulators. Grab a thing of plastic, just maybe two of them. Okay. Pretty soon we'll have little bots to take care of all this nonsense for us. I mean, clearing up your inventory kind of stuff. But until then, it's a manual thing. Okay. We always want a supply of these, so just now that I'm thinking of it. Alright. Let's get some copper for miscellaneous stuff. Alright, let's put our accumulators down. Let's go ahead and start another row. Oh, come on, water. So this is the point of... Have we not researched it? Let's research it real quick. Landfill. So you can fill up little places like this. But in the meantime... Oops. Now, like I said before, now that we've started using laser turrets, these accumulators are even more important because they will provide extra energy in case an attack exceeds our production capacity. Which is totally possible if you get like a huge attack. Now, what were we doing? I want to say mining. Don't see it here. Yeah. So now we can build these little landfill blocks. Is that? Looks like we need another, which means we need stone. grab it from here. Just carry around some landfill blocks from now on. Okay, so that's all patched up. Oh, it's another space, I guess. Okay. It's daytime, so we want to be charging all these. Okay. Lots more at place. This is, if we actually manage to place them all, this is probably going to be enough for a while. So you should see yeah, so these spikes are from just charging these things up. We have 3 rows here. I'm going to put some more here because I take it back. I take it back. Let's do them on the other side of the solar panels. So we'll just start putting them down here. Will we line them up over there? So I'll line them up here. Oops. And there's no reason I'm doing them in this pattern other than that's easy to walk through. It's not particularly efficient in terms of space or in terms of electrical poles or anything like that. It's just simple, and you can walk through it pretty easily. Excuse me. It's pretty easy to tile. Right. Let's put the last ones down. And my hope is that tonight we should see that no steam engines will be used at all, because all the power will be coming from these accumulators to keep the factory running through the night. That's the idea. And we should eventually see this yellow line go to 0, at which point we can actually erase it if we're confident that we'll keep enough solar panels. All right, so that's one key, one part of the puzzle. Let's check our efficiency. It looks like we're flush with iron. So we have to kind of look and start at the end. What are we missing? We're missing red science. Red science is missing plastic. Okay. Which now it makes a lot of sense because we only have 2 oil fields. And that's, so we just probably don't have petroleum. We don't have petroleum. All the tanks look good. They're not full, so we just don't have enough crude oil. we should do that next. I don't think we're going to be able to automate a new kind of science this episode because we're just building up a production system. You see, it's actually the pollution's gone away because we don't need that iron. It's limited by plastic. All right, let's focus on that. So let's get some pump jacks. We'll get 10 of them. We'll come over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe even 11 pump jacks. We'll grab all these. We'll do the same thing we did up here. We make a tiny little outpost. We'll get that crude coming back to the base. Okay. How are we doing on a couple more power poles? A couple of these big ones. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And something we talked about earlier. I'm actually just going to give all these to make solar panels. We want to pick up, don't mind if I do, we need tons of these for the iron eventually. Now, we've, automated these pipes we're using them to build these engines. We should probably put places down to give me a chest of pipes so that I can pick them up when I need them. I might just do it here. For no good reason. It also might be a good idea to stick them somewhere out of the way. But I think we agreed I wasn't going to worry too much about that kind of thing. So I'm just going to put it here, here, with chests. Like this, and we'll make pipes and plates. All right, so that'll make pipes, and then I wonder if I can connect. Will that reach? No. Okay. Then it'll just go like this. Right, and then that'll be output here. Now, we don't need a ridiculous number of those things. So I'm going to stop that like that, and I'm going to stop this like this. Now they're going to make a ton. Ton. So whenever we want, we can come and pick them up instead of having to do all this crap where it's going to take us forever to try and finish them in our inventory, we can just come and pick them up. These are. This is fine for us. So eventually, robots will bring these to us, and we won't even have to go pick them up manually. While we're kind of waiting for all this stuff, so let's just go place some more solar panels. We'll take a look at our power. We won't have to do that for a while. I'm thinking we're fine on solar. But it's always good to have an excess. And this is it's kind of relaxing. Don't have to worry about aliens attacking you. Don't have to worry about running out of some important resource. Just put them down, blue squares in a pattern. All right. So it's looking good. As you can see, the steam engine stopped being used here. So we might be done with steam. It looks like we've also curtailed our own pollution in our main base. Possibly because we're no longer using these steam engines, although it looks like they just kicked in. Yeah, they just kicked in. So we still don't have enough accumulators. It says that they have energy. So why isn't the energy being used? So at least in some versions, maybe I thought this didn't work this way anymore, but it would use steam before it would use accumulators. But we see them being used here. It's possible that we didn't have enough capacity there. But yeah, so we could just erase our steam and hope for the best. I think that's what I'm going to do. Now this is, you shouldn't have to do this. It should use accumulators first. Why it doesn't, I do not know. Do not know. There's tricks to automate switching, but they're kind of weird. All right, still crafting our pipes. Let's see, what else? But yeah, okay, so definitely tonight we should not see any yellow. I mean, there's no more steam engines available. We'll erase this if it works. If not, we'll plug a couple back if we need the power. But we should run entirely off of accumulators tonight. All right. while we're waiting for nighttime, we're gonna go build our second outpost. And we're gonna do it over here and get some oil. At that point, I'm thinking that, oh, let's do night vision. I'll try that out. At that point, I'm thinking we'll work on creating a robot network. So that we can take advantage of those niceties, just to make our lives easier. There's a lot of trees over here. So let's go scope it out. So, looks like we're on it. So I'm going to just sort of fire. Just trying to find the oil. Okay, there's some oil. Now this destroys the trees. We don't get the wood. Alright, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's the patches. Alright. And the other patches are over here. Let's build two separate bases. So we're gonna get a bunch of laser turrets. Got our night vision going. I don't even know what this looks like. I've never done it before. It might look like crap. I hope it's not just like green or something. But right, so the idea is this exact same as for the iron. We have our mining stuff, in this case pump jacks. We're going to surround it with walls. Okay. Give ourselves a little place to come and go. How much pollution do pump jacks? So these are just as bad as miners. So it's worth filling these with efficiency. Okay. Very good. So now we just hook these up together. Maybe oh, alright, I'm gonna get the pipes first. Add these laser turrets. So, you know, this doesn't have to be perfect. There's actually scripts that will, I don't exactly know how they work. I think they take screenshots and they look at where the oil is, and they'll come up with an optimal way of doing this. But it's something about this game that just attracts people that like to optimize. And I don't get why you'd want to optimize something that doesn't matter. Who cares that you use 4 pipes instead of 5? It just doesn't. Why? I don't know. but we're going to drop down one of these doohickeys. I think we're just going to run this to the right. So that like that. Now, these are all hooked up. So I'll put some power there and get the individual power like this. Doesn't quite reach, but that'll be fine. Let's put our defense in. And in fact, it's probably going to attract attention as soon as we, oops, as soon as we turn it on, because there's biters right here to the left. Excuse me. Yeah, so let's power the lasers. Okay. All right, now we have to carry over the oil and the power. So actually, maybe it makes more sense to run the oil at the top. I'll just do this. Something like that. And let's see, how much do we have to? I think I'm just going to shoot it. All right, that looks good. So let's do our power. That's fine. Now these should start working, and they do for everything. We'll start getting scans from the radar. These pipes should fill up with oil. Everything looks great. Now we just need to connect the oil to our network. It's a little bit trickier because these only go 8 tiles or so. But I think we can manage this. We'll come. Let's actually see where would be a good place to hook it up. So we want to run it into our barrels. So it might make sense to actually bring it over maybe on the edge of our base. Oh, okay. Didn't know you could do that. Let's just do this. A little bit further. Boop, boop. I think that's actually it. So the crude should start running into our tanks. And it should start filling up. And then this should be good. So now we can turn these back on. And if you remember, we turned them off because we didn't have efficiency modules, but now we do. So advanced, boop. We also didn't have the crude to get these running. But now we have all three going in tandem again. They're actually filling up faster than it produces, which means we should have an excess of petroleum. But we don't. Which may just indicate the fact that we were very starved before. Very, very, very. So I'm going to go ahead and make... All right, we need more steel. We'll make maybe 3 more of these. I'm looking forward to not having to scrounge for these. Where's our steel chest? Ah, it's down there. All right, now we need stone bricks. Okay, that's it's probably good. Like double our capacity. Once we make sure that the problem isn't here. Ooh, yeah, they don't have enough crude. Let's watch it again. So see how it's not filling up before this is done? So it's not going to help building more refineries. They just don't have enough crude. We could put a... Well, that's okay. Because we have another spot that we want to capture. So let's do that. Oh, actually, it's a little bit trickier. So these pipes are full. We didn't connect these up. Okay, so we actually only had 2 additional pumps, but now we have these 3. So that's going to be better. But it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm going to go ahead and take these other ones. They're right over here. It looks like there's no worms, or not many. So, but there's quite a bit of oil. All we have to do is kind of run the oil like we did before. Oh, I broke the wall. Clean it up with that tool. Let's, oh, that didn't work. Let's see, do it here maybe? Alright, we woke up the biters. We've got plenty of power this time for our suit, so we should be able to outrun it and slaughter them. Now, as far as wildlife goes, they're fairly aggressive, so I don't really feel a whole lot of sympathy for them. Even though this is their planet, and we are invaders. At least non-indigenous. So let's wall this off. Something like this. Okay, I'm missing lots of spots because of trees, but we'll patch it up. Somehow walled myself into the wall. Alright, I've got some doohickeys, what do you call them? Doors? Alright, and put our lasers down for protection. Always be safe. Always be shooting. We put our pump jacks down. I'm doing it this way, just because I don't have space in the. Oh, that's a shame. All right, so that's got to go that way, maybe. It's not really a shame. Then, all right, I'm just going to give in to the way things are. And maybe like that. So, okay. Something like this. That, now let's see. So let's not make the same mistake we made last time. These three are hooked up. And then they need to be combined. Okay, so now these two are hooked up. That's hooked up. So all these are hooked up to this one pipe. And this pipe is coming in here. All right, so that should do it. We'll get some. I'm not even going to make these straight because at this point I just want to get out of this woods. Now they have power. Let's make sure every little piece has power. Every little thing. Okay, that's the ugliest possible sign. I've maximized ugliness. That was my optimization criteria. Try to cut down pollution a little bit. Can we make another? So that we don't have to come back. So, with this little expansion, we've been actually quite lucky. I mean, the iron's really far away, which is annoying. Ooh, uranium. This is really far away, I feel like, for our first iron expansion. But other than that, we've been lucky in that there's a lot of iron there, and there's a lot of oil here. So we should be good on oil for a while. Should be good on iron for a while. And I mean, there's copper right here. So we're super, super lucky. All right. So all these have level 2 efficiency, brings the pollution down by almost a third. Okay, so oil's coming through these pipes. It's connecting up to here. All these are pumping. These pipes aren't full. It's coming back to the base. Okay, it's coming down. Oh, now there's our plastic. So, yeah, our tanks are almost full. Maybe I don't want to build 50 of these. Jesus. I don't know why I clicked so many. If you right-click, it builds 5, and I think I was thought of myself as left-clicking. But these are running. Boom! Look at that, fill up. These are running at capacity. So my idea was I was just going to put down a few more of these as a buffer. Eventually, we won't have quite so much oil, and it's nice to have a store of it. I'm not sure if our petroleum's filling up. Oh, okay, so plastic can't come off fast enough. This belt is full, so it's not being used. So we can use some more battery creators. Maybe I'll double that for now. Let's see, we have, I think, just one thing of space between them. Okay, run that up. Run this down. We can, I'm not sure how far these go. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, we can put them over here. Okay. Don't need that. All right, there's double the battery production. So hopefully our accumulator is going to start getting some batteries. More than 4 seems ridiculous. Hi, Arnon Jr. Yeah, I love efficiency modules. If you don't create pollution, you don't get attacked, and I like that. Honestly, we don't even have efficiency modules in most things. Just a couple right now. A couple of the big pollution producers. So we're not really stockpiling petroleum. So I might as well go ahead and place these oil refineries down. Looks like we're leaving two spots between 2, 2, 2. And we almost definitely don't need all these, but I already have them made, so. And we have space, so might as well. Okay. All right, so there's that. Yeah, I've got, so far I've got a solar array over here and a bunch of accumulators. We no longer have any, oh, we're just at capacity. But we no longer have any steam. Oh, we need to build more. All right, I'm glad I looked because we need to build more solar. We're not charging our batteries before the nighttime. But yeah, getting away from steam means that you make a lot less pollution as well. And we've had, at this point, one very, very minor attack. And honestly, we might not have any more the rest of the game. Which is, it's a blessing and a curse, because it's kind of fun to defend. But it's also fun to build stuff. And to not have to worry about things being destroyed. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But like everything in Factorio, automating it makes it less taxing. I really want to get construction bots going so that we can, so that I don't have to cut down any more trees. I'm looking forward to that. Once I finish the oil stuff, that's next. Yeah, absolutely. Let me finish putting these solar panels down, and then I'll walk you through it. I think since these are in a bunch, I can shoot them. I don't want to destroy anything, but. they go. The shotgun goes a lot further than I expect, but. Looks like we've damaged some walls a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if the trees are in my way, I'll shoot them. I don't mind. All right, that's all the solar panels I picked up. Now, we're still at capacity. Which is dangerous because okay, all right, we jump down. So no, actually we're still charging. So I'll need to make more solar. I'll grab some green circuits, drop them in our solar panel thing, and then I'll show you science. Probably grab some copper too. Where did I put the copper chests? Yeah, the reason I switched to electric furnaces is I don't like dealing with the coal. Just not even because of the pollution, but because it's annoying to have to feed them coal. All right, so that'll make more solar panels. So yeah, we have one array of labs that we can extend if we want, maybe another row, and 2 belts. So far we're doing green, red, blue, and oh, there goes the power. Maybe I should put the panels up. I think what I'll also do is temporarily put the steam engines back just until I get enough solar panels. So that should only take a second. Steam engines. So we still have all this stuff here. I'm just going to put some of these back in. This will help us deal until I get enough solar. I do not. I've never watched. I've actually never watched anyone else. Maybe that's why I look different, because I haven't seen how other people do things. I did learn this little trick from Reddit. I am on the Reddit, the Factorio Reddit. Right, so I've got my science. We have power again. Good. So the way that I have the science array, I'm feeding in red and green and blue, and this gray is the new weapons science. And green and red are pretty simple. We did that early on, obviously. Probably more reds than we'll ever need. Greens too. But everything's kind of localized. We have one iron belt here that's being split off a couple of times to feed different chains. So making some random stuff here in the middle, but otherwise a lot of this iron is going over here. We're making stuff for greens on this line, and then they're feeding into the greens. The reds is sort of the same idea, but there's really only one step where you make the gears. The blues are trickier, of course. And we've got a red line here, and the idea, which we haven't even come back to, but I'm going to extend this out to the left. Once we need more reds, which it looks like now is the time that we need more reds. We just increased our oil capacity enough to keep up with plastic production. So I'll probably take all this stuff and make it underground, and then extend this to the left. And that'll boost our blue signs. The weapon stuff is pretty simple. I've got grenades coming in from up here, and these piercing rounds coming in, being fed by, yeah. So, I've been trying not to plan. I think that a lot of people who play Factorio plan everything out. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing. It's 6 reds to blue science. People worry a lot about all these ratios and making things efficient. And the way that I like to play is by looking at the belts. I don't care about anything. I don't care about numbers. I don't care about planning. I just look at the belts, and if the belts are full, I'm good. If the belts are empty, I need to improve that particular thing. And so for a while, we didn't have enough iron, and early today, we created our first iron outpost, and now we have plenty of iron. And immediately, we saw that we didn't have enough plastic, and that's we could see it because the belt was empty. So we worked on improving our oil production. We made these 2 little outposts. Let's actually maybe this. Wait, where'd that go? Oh, cancels on the left. Okay, cool. Ah! I don't expect cancel to be on the left. Yeah, blueprints. Yeah, and then they share these optimal ways of doing things. Like, people have developed the 99.8% efficient, space efficient solar panel arrays, and it's just, who gives a shit? Space is infinite. I mean, the map is literally infinite, so who cares? I don't understand why people are so obsessed with this stuff. I think it's more fun to react, and so that's my philosophy. All right. So what's next? Personal Roboport. That sounds pretty neat. This will let us kind of build stuff around us, even if we don't have Roboports for the base. I think we'll do that next. All right. So what did we say? We said that we'd do Roboports, and I think it's time. We'll need more reds. Yeah. But so Arnon says sometimes it gets really messy to do without blueprints. I think that's another thing that I like, because once it's messy and you realize, oh, I can't extend this, then you get to bulldoze it and you get to re-engineer it, and the re-engineering I think is fun. I don't think there's anything fun about a main bus base. It's taking the fun part of the game and throwing it away. All right. So I think it's pretty clear we're going to need more reds soon. These are limited only by the fact that there's 2 of these. We have enough inputs to create more. Yeah, exactly. And there's something interesting in that. I mean, there's something interesting in making an enormous base, or to make 1 rocket per second, 1 rocket per minute. But it's a different kind of interesting. Yeah, yeah, mega bases. Yeah, it's a different game, I think. All right, so just let's not craft all those reds by hand. Let's start building roboports. I think we should expand this red production. So the one thing we could do is we could just skip out here. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to take this. Oh, that doesn't quite reach, so I'm going to use a red. Well, actually, why not get rid of that? All right, so still doesn't reach. All right, so we need it red. Thanks a lot, Arnon Jr. Yep, it's a homemade hamburger. It's a little sloppy, but it tastes pretty good. All right, so we're going to run our greens and our plastics out to this belt, and it looks like we're going to need copper coming in. So let's do a split. Let's do a split here. And we need to make more undergrounds. So I'm just going to run this basically out to here where we're past everything. And the same for this. Now we're going to start tiling our little mechanism again. So we'll get some assembling machines. We really need to keep gears around. Let's remind ourselves that we want gears. So basically we can start here. Oops. Just like that. And this comes in. It looks like we did something like this. So this is going to make copper, and these are going to make reds. I don't know what I want. I guess let's start researching rails. All right. So the way we did this was red, input, output, and something like this. So here's our first new red setup. And the question is, what do we want to do with the reds? So the problem is these reds go left. I mean, I could do something really janky and like snake it back here to come to the beginning of the belt. Or I could make these come to the left like around here. I'm not sure. Let's get rid of this for now. Yeah. This is the fun part. So that little thing that I just removed was just grabbing reds for my own purpose, my own use. So that gives us a little bit of space. So all I really need to do, is instead of splitting there, we split here. And we'll run this like this. Okay, I'm liking this. All right, so the idea is let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. So that's going to be coming in. We're also going to have some, I'll have the reds coming in like this. And then we'll join them. I mean, this is a little bit ridiculous, but it's not that bad, honestly. So this will be coming in like this, and then we can come out here and all right, so then this belt is going to go left. I mean, to the right. So, boop, boop. Let's just for simplicity's sake, we'll do that. Okay. And under, well, we could do it like that, actually. I mean, that's fine for now. We'll eventually want to join this better, but this is fine for now. So now this is tileable. This is, we can extend this immediately. Let's actually just do 2 more. Boop, boop. Okay. Input, 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 input. We're running out of iron, it looks like, in our inventory. Okay. And in. All right, now just to power it up. All right, so we're using the RSO mod, the resource something something. I don't even know what it stands for. But it makes the resource patches further away and more dense, so that you don't just walk to them really easily. But that's the only mod. All right, so here's the nice thing about this is now that we're kind of clear of all this junk, we have room to tile this. We could just get rid of this and make this a lot cleaner, but for now I'm going to leave it because there's no sense. there's no reason to optimize. I've actually never really made a train network. I'm hoping to make trains now. That was one of the reasons why I did RSO, is to encourage me to make trains. With resources being so far, I think it's going to be a lot easier to make trains. All right, look, for the first time, we actually have reds piling up here. So the limiting thing here is no longer reds. That's exciting. Oh, it's true here too. Oh, this is so great, so great. So we're building tons of blues. Let's see, automated rail, let's research. We can actually put some more, let's put another blue here. This comes up, this comes up. We need to pick up a bunch of junk. Input, and output. All right, so there's another blue factory. So this is great. This is super great. Now that we have blue science coming in more regularly, we have reds coming in more regularly. Oh yeah, they're piling up down here. I don't know about you, but I am tired of picking up resources from the ground, from these chests and whatnot. So I'm going to get the robots going. So hopefully for the last time, let's just pick up some stuff. We need maybe a little bit of copper. We need some iron, which I think the iron chest is now up here. Yeah. And let's focus on robots. So we built 2 roboports. We want to build many more. Use long reach. Is that the mod that that lets you open a chest from anywhere and things like that? Oh, that reminds me. So we removed our red chest, so we need to add it back. Let's stick it right here. That's not really what I want. I guess I can have it just go down. Oh, it's not fast enough. Ooh, the blue's not fast enough. That's interesting. That seems a little bit buggy to me. Yeah, we're gonna probably have to do this a little bit better, but let's. This is kind of silly. But we're going to do that. We're going to do that. This isn't really what I want either. All right. I don't want to worry too much about this, so I'm just going to do it like this. And I think eventually we'll come and we'll just get rid of these, and that'll give us a little space over here. But this is what I'm going to do for now. So get our red chest back. Then let's say two rows. So long reach, you can grab items long away, just like you're close to it. Build stuff to it. That's pretty cool. So it's like your character doesn't matter. You just leave your character somewhere. Or do you have to be on the same screen at least, or something like that? So we accidentally picked up some science. I'm just going to dump it off. All right, back to Roboports. Roboport. Do we have a gear chest anywhere? I don't know if we ever made one. I see. So you can kind of ghost around. All right. It actually looks like we've run out of iron, just about. I mean, in terms of saturation. Oh, I don't really like automobiles. Let's do that. All right, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, but I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So Arnon says, likewise, when you're building something and you need iron, you just pick some of a box of furnace. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Right. Did we make... We can stick it here. So we'll have gears coming in that chest. All right, I think we can start placing roboports. So roboports give your robots a little place to live. They charge up their power, and they're able to access you in a certain radius. Here. So if I remember right, the yellow is the radius that the logistics robots can reach you. And the green is the radius for construction robots. So we'll want to cover basically all of our chests with green, with yellow. And generally, I just tile them. I mean, I want to make sure the whole base is reachable, so that if things change in my design, we can still be reached by robots. So I'm just going to start over here and kind of plot these down. Maybe I'll plot my first one here. Actually, maybe it's better to do it like in the middle of a bunch of junk. All right, so there's our first one. And I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to look to try to line these things up. Now, actually, I'm not sure because of the belts. I think that's good. So this creates a network. You see the yellow dotted line. The robots can travel anywhere in this whole system now. Let's add one to the left. And it looks like we touched something here. Then there's always a question, should I try to build around the... So I just realized night vision is great now. It really looks like daytime. I'm very happy we built that. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna... We don't have these working anyway, so for now, I'm gonna erase it. And these are still not working, but that's okay, we'll fix it. I'm gonna put this down. Okay. Make sure it gets power. And I'm going to also throw some of these in. So construction robots will automatically repair buildings that are reachable and in the green radius. My, look how slow they are. Oh, they run about... So they have a certain amount of energy on the robot, in the robot. When they run out, they move insanely slow. Okay, let's grab some more reds. Power this up. Is the first one powered? Oh, that was the first one. The second one's not powered. All right, so now all three of them are powered. And you see we're covering a decent amount of our base with green. Our goal here is just to cover everything. At which point, they're going to start delivering these things that we've been asking for straight to our person. And then they're going to take away things that are greater than this. And I think this is another really big turning point in the game, because it means that a lot of things that we used to have to worry about, we don't. Just like when we got the electric furnaces. Let's take a look over here. Just checking something. 1 second. Oil cracking? Sure, I'll just show you that now. We're only cracking light oil, but I'm cracking light oil using this this setup. Nothing really fancy about it, but I can tile it out as far as I want. Once I get too much heavy, then I'll probably start cracking heavy, but I don't need to yet. And even then, I can always throw in more tanks to delay that as long as I want. So, yep. Look at that. We got our first deliveries. All right. Shotgun inserter capacity. So if you research this far enough, you eventually get non-stack inserter. This is what we want. So I'm going to research that a couple times. That'll make a couple things slightly more efficient. Yeah. Is it awesome? I mean, there's not a whole lot to it. All right. Roboports. Got to get some reds. Oh, yeah. Oh, 281 reds. Oh, we are just swimming in reds. Let's pick up some gears. We're rich. We are rich. Oh, 375 gears. Oh, yes. Now we need steel. All right, so gears, steel. Let's also do greens and reds. And honestly, blues. Give me all the things. What am I looking for? Steel, 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 steel. Steel is here. Oops. Did not need that much steel. Okay. Yeah, mixing liquids. I find it tricky. And so I like to keep things simple by trying to do everything in a row, so that you can just do this little underground where you serpentine up and down. I do it with the inputs to the refineries as well, just up and down, up and down, up and down. I think we should place a couple more solar panels while we're running around. All right, so we have over 100 wood, so they should come and take wood from us once we're inside the network. And then I think it's also time to start spamming robots. So we'll make maybe a few hundred robots, logistic and construction, so that there's always enough running around. Somehow we've used up our steel pickaxe, so we'll make another. Let's also make some repair packs to dump them into the not enough logistics network storage space available. Huh. Didn't we have 4 chests? I could have sworn we had 4 chests. How did they fill up 4 chests? This is empty. What are you complaining about? Oh, it's probably not within the... Yeah, okay. So we just need to place more roboports. So let's... that one goes here or so. Looks like that's right. So we'll get rid of this steam engine. And it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I'm not very good with colors, but I find this hard to distinguish. True. Yeah. I researched it, so I just need to build it. We can build one now. All right. So there's that roboport. Let's see if we can go above. This is. Let's see. So I think here. So looks like we have to get rid of some roads, but that's okay because these are done. Perfect. All right. So wish I could zoom out more. So that's quite a bit of our base, actually. We should probably come over here and do this. This is where our red chests and stuff are, so let's do that. And we'll do one more level of that. Banished is great. It's super relaxing, in my opinion. As long as you build slow, like if you like Factorio and you don't mind kind of a peaceful game with no combat, it's great. It's like a resource management game. You're trying to build a colony. It's great, yeah. But it's kind of slow. And there's no combat. Both things that some people like. Oops, I think I messed that up right at the last second. All right. Okay, so that covers a red chest. I turned biters off. Yeah, I've played a game. I've definitely played a game where I turned biters off, and it's basically the reason why I play with solar panels and efficiency modules, because I don't really want to just fight the whole time. All right, now we have our own little roboport. Oh, that's draining power like crazy. I think we're gonna need to wait until we get a. Or is it filled up? Is it filled up now? Oh, we're being attacked. Oh, we're being attacked! Ah! Okay. So they, for some reason, just decided to attack us in the middle of a wall. Oops. But that's cool, because, let's see what we got here. So, if we... Yeah, I think you're right. I only realized it right before I got attacked, but it's charging up its own little battery, which is inside of my battery. But let's put this roboport down. I want to see the robots repair the wall. Oh, we ran out of poles, finally. We need construction robots. That's fine. All right. And some of that. So once we get some construction bots out, now we're building these frames in some chest somewhere. but I don't have any in my inventory. I'll go grab some. Where did I put them? They really are. I can't believe there's nothing between solar panels and reactors. Like, the reactor is amazing, and the solar panels are horrible. You'd think there'd be something halfway. Where? I guess the frame's up here because of lubricant. And we... I'll just take them all. So we'll make some construction. We'll make the rest logistic, maybe? Something like that. This needs to be covered so that we can grab them. But I'm actually glad we finally got attacked in our main base, because up until now we haven't even had to think about it. But it's nice to think about it a little bit, I think. All right, let's get these guys out in the air. That's really fun to do because they fly around. Let's let these guys fly around. Now, you see these guys are bringing us iron. The construction robots will come and repair these walls if they have construction packs, which I'm going to put some in here. So, and at least they used to be able to go to any Roboport to pick up packs. So yeah, looks like they've grabbed some packs, and they're coming around and fixing it. So that's all working well and good. Very happy with how this is going. Let's put the next Roboport in the setup here. Something like this. All right. And with that, I think we've just about covered, yeah, I think we've covered all of our production, except for the stone. I'm not sure. I'm not to the point where I'm going to run around and construct stuff with the bots just yet. All right, hold on. I'm just trying to get a bunch of stuff straight here. Let's see. So, oh, character logistic trash. We don't really need that. Worker robot speed. That would be nice. Character logistic slots. That would be nice. Cargo size. That would be really nice. That would be nice. Let's go for that. Okay, so yeah, see, they're slowly filling up my iron plates. Okay, so this has been great, because now that we've got robots going, it really opens up a lot of opportunities. We don't have to focus quite so much on all this boring bullshit. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to place our solar panels. Didn't leave myself another. We'll have to grow the walls at some point. Yep, I dumped some repair packs on one of the Roboports, and that should be enough for now. I don't anticipate getting attacked a whole lot. Okay. Let's take a look at our power. So we're using accumulators at night. I want to try to get rid of some of these things. I'll get rid of like the first. There's a mod, nanobots. They work like bots, but you spin them. Can't live without it too. Yeah, you use that in your game. What's the advantage over normal bots? Let's take these. We've been carrying around a bunch of engines. Let's dump them in where they belong. And it looks like these chests aren't hooked up to the network, so we need another roboport. I think I'm just gonna. Oh, there's only 3. So we have to figure out what's slowing this down. Engines. Oh yeah, because we have to manually do that. They're faster and they cost iron and green circuits. I see. So they're kind of like temporary, cheap. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It gives you robots early, but they're not as durable. That makes sense. I like that. Yeah, that's the worst. That reminds me. So I'll put deconstruct here. So now that we have robots, I can deconstruct trees like this, and it's a godsend. All right. Roboport. Let's get this. I think this is really the last roboport for now. We were very lucky that we didn't really have to chop anything. I mean, delete anything to fit these in. Okay. Laser turret damage. Let's get cargo size. All right. Next step. Nothing. There's nothing flashing anymore. We've gotten rid of all of the flashing chests. Thank God. So let's take another look at our overall efficiency. What's being blocked? What's not? And I just saw that we need engines. So we don't have delivery chests yet. So I'm just going to grab these engines. I'm going to bump that up to 4. And I'm just going to hand deliver these engines. Oops, wrong one. Arnon says, you really don't have a single blueprint book. So he's talking about in my blueprint library, which is, I mean, this is a super cool feature. I mentioned this earlier. You can make blueprints. So let's show how that works. So the red and green, so my red and green science ratios, I just basically do whatever needs to be done. So if I don't have enough green, I make more greens. If I don't have enough reds, I make more reds. And it works out, I mean, in the long term. So I just want to show people how the blueprints work. So this is our nice tileable thing here. And we can build another one of these manually, or we can come in here and we can say, hey, I want to make a new blueprint. Now, how exactly does this work? It looks like this. What do I put it here? Yeah. There we go. So it grabs the things from the ground and kind of saves what they look like. We might call this red circuits. You can even pick an icon. Like I think it does based on what's being used a lot. So, but maybe you want it to be that. So sort of a symbol circuits is the idea. And now you can actually come over here and you can just say, boom, and it puts a little ghosts. It puts little ghost buildings down. And we should have tiled this part, but we didn't, and should have tiled that. But construction robots will come and look for these buildings in a chest somewhere, and if they find the buildings, just like this, they found these yellow belts. They'll come and they'll place them for you automatically, even if it's 1,000 buildings, which is kind of fantastic. And as you start to build bigger and bigger things, like we'll probably use it now for the we'll probably use it now for our what do you call it? Solar panels array. So we don't have to place this by hand. But some of these we have to fill in because we don't have the material in a chest somewhere. But that's the idea. So this is being starved for green anyway, so we didn't really need to build another thing. We don't have enough greens. Why don't we have enough greens? We don't have enough iron. Why don't we have enough iron? I'm going to clean up some of this. Look at the little fellas bringing us stuff. All right, so why don't we have enough iron? So these don't have enough iron ore. Okay, so that's super simple. So what I'm going to do is continue this down and split this in so that we stopped doing this because we didn't need iron for a second. We needed petroleum. But we can finish working this. Let's finish doing both parts. So I'm going to grab some more transport belts, and we'll finish running down the iron from our outpost so that we have it. I honestly, I am pretty sure iron is the thing that's used the most in terms of a resource. The balancer I also found from Reddit. I did not figure that out myself. Where you go out and come back in. We're looking for belts. There's two kinds of balancers, and I don't really even understand everything. This is the only kind of balancer that matters to me, because let's say both of these were full on the left. If you just put them in a normal splitter, you still only wind up with a belt that's full on the left, and it's halfway underutilized. But if you use this little trick, it makes sure that both sides of the belt are full, because let's say both of these are full on the left, then this one is going to come and it's going to fill the right side, and it's a wonderful little tool. Hi, Bena 10. This is vanilla except for I'm using RSO, the Resource Spawner Overhaul, and it makes more dense deposits but further away. So we were just about to run up here and finish connecting. Yeah, well, luckily, I'm probably not going to be doing any kind of mega structures anytime soon. I've successfully launched the rocket a number of times, but not like once per minute or anything like that. Oops. I feel like we missed a spot, but we'll find it coming back down. What did I just pick up? Train signaling? Yeah, I've never built a signal, so it's probably going to be, well, it's probably going to be a train wreck. I don't know if you're a programmer or not, but I just realized that the idea that people are going around and copying code that they find online or blueprints that they find online, it's a lot like people copying code from Stack Overflow. Where you can find example code and just take it. That is a long belt. Yeah, it sure is. This will probably be my only long belt. I mean, we're going to do copper the same way, but then I want to use trains for the next outpost. Mostly because I've never done it before. But this belt is enough to get us started. We were going to run out of iron, so I needed to do something quick. All right, so let's, how are we doing? Let's follow this belt back down, make sure everything's kosher. And we'll get our iron situated. Just trying to see if we missed an 8. I mean, we'll notice it eventually, but I'd like to catch it. This is where I kind of felt like I had a hole, but well, it really just depends on what your goals are. I mean, you know, I think the game is still interesting if you use blueprints. You still have to figure out how to put the blueprints together. And maybe you can take the blueprints and you can adapt them for your own situation. Things like that. Certainly, you know, if you had seen the way that I did green circuits before I learned the little pattern. It was horrible. All right, well, that's fine. I'm not even going to bother messing with that just now. Or maybe, it's fine. Eventually all this will be used up, and then we'll rethink how we combine this stuff. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a couple more furnaces. That's plenty. Well, I appreciate your kind words. It took launching the rocket to realize that I had to have these great arrays of things like iron. You just use so much of it. All right, that looks, whoops, put those down. I think that's enough. We don't need that many. One more. This is almost definitely gonna saturate our belts, but that's fine. I like that. I want saturated belts. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. That. Oh, we're being attacked. Yeah, and you need to get to it to see that you need huge structures. Yeah. I certainly wouldn't. Oh, oh shit, stuff's being destroyed. Okay, alright. There's still biters. There we go. So they came and they attacked. Oh, they got in. I didn't even see them. All right, that was a disaster. So they destroyed some of our little robots. They damaged that. They killed that. We'll replace that. We didn't have any lasers here, so it looks like what's happened is a new colony has created itself close enough that it's touching our pollution, and so they're the ones that are attacking. So there's a few things that we should do. I'm going to build some lasers. I've got mostly, so Bena, I've got mostly solar panels with accumulators, but I've still got a little bit of steam. Hopefully we'll get rid of these soon, but I'm dealing with trying to put out other fires first, like these biters. Boy, these actually create really slowly. Let's do shooting speed next. So one thing we can do is we can start making sure that these overlap. And the other thing is we can go on the offensive, and I think I'm gonna kick their butts, or at least I'm gonna try. So they have a medium worm. Let's actually, we'll set up another one of these lasers to. Oh, hello. so that we can run back to safety. Oof. All right, that was a lot of damage. I don't know how many construction robots they killed. So I'm going to ask the network for... Where are they? For flying frames. And then I'll build more. So I just want to kill this worm if I can get to it. So close. Right. Now you can eat fish to regenerate health, but I don't have any fish. But it comes back when it's in. Alright, worm's dead, so now we should be able to kill these things. Alright, so the spawners are down. We don't have to worry about that now. The problem is I haven't been upgrading the machine gun. But I have the combat shotgun, so... Alright. Oh, I see. The range is better. Well, it's a done deal now. Yeah, so if there are any more spawns, they might be within range, and then they're gonna get angry like that. Looks like this actually might start to be attacked soon because there's one in range. Let's see. What do I want? All right, let's finish dealing with our iron production, and then we'll focus on pollution. I think that's what I want to do. Right. I'll probably start upgrading the robots too. Okay, so now this big array is looking pretty fine. We have total saturation for iron. So now we need to work through our chain to see what we can upgrade. So we'll keep bumping up the belt size. And yeah, so see, these machines aren't getting enough iron, so the more we can do to increase the bandwidth to each split, the more efficient the machine gets. So red to red, and then a red splitter. So that's another split now that this is going to be full. And if we can do one more, I have a feeling that's going to be enough. So now we should have a full red and another split. We need to start making splitters and red belts automated too. But one thing at a time. So you see what we went from having half full yellow belts to having basically 100% full yellow belts. And that is the key. So hopefully this will start filling up, start backing up. And it looks like that's the case. So now this whole arm has enough iron. Let's keep going and look at the next part. So I don't see the same thing happening here. It's pretty close. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's backing up. Okay. And then how about down here? Not down here. So we're not making as many green circuits as we could if we had more iron. Now, the red belt is not full of iron, so we actually need to come up and look at this deal. So we could switch to blues here. We haven't researched that yet, but we could also split out two things of red. So that's another possibility. And based on the way this is done, I think I'm going to do that. On the other hand, we're not really eating a whole lot of iron on the left sides here, so it's not going to help either. So until we get blue belts, there's not a lot we can do to increase the throughput. We can do really ugly things like snake belts down here and then join them. And if we get desperate, we'll have to do that. It's basically the same as having a parallel belt come down. But throughput is way above what it was just a few minutes ago. We got tons of red circuits coming in. Looks like our blue science, all of these buildings are running. So I'm pretty happy with that. So let's, yeah, we're going to grab some efficiency. Let's start working on our pollution problem. So first thing is, let's put in modules here. It's only 40 iron left there. Okay, so that's that patch. Let's go to our pump jacks. Oh, we should also do it here, I guess. We'll only fill in the ones that are being used for now. That looks pretty good. This one will be used a little bit, so I'll put that in. Okay. Green circuits consume a great amount of iron and copper. That is certainly true. Certainly true. It's hard to get enough iron to satisfy everything. So after this little scenario, putting all these efficiency modules in, you should see a great reduction in pollution. Like a third less. I mean, maybe a quarter less. Oops. This one is done. Do I stream often? I've been streaming once or twice every couple days. So yeah. I don't always play Factorio though, like you see. Like you saw, I play Banished and RimWorld. And this week I'm going to start streaming Oxygen Not Included, which is a game by Clay, the people who did Don't Starve, and it's awesome. If you like Factorio, you should check out Oxygen Not Included. It's great. It's super cool. All right, pump jacks. But yeah, you know. Oh, awesome! Yeah, yeah. You like it, I guess. All right. Yeah, that's so. When this update hits, I'm gonna start a new game and start streaming that. I haven't been playing the beta. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's in 2 days, and when it hits, I'm gonna play it. I haven't played the beta, so I don't know. I mean the preview, so I haven't tried the new stuff, but I'm really excited about it. Efficiency 2. All right, let's start upgrading our robots. So let's get their speed up. What's next? What is next? Let's grab some more modules and head up to our outpost, because that is a heck of a lot of pollution up there. And they're going to start getting hammered. But yeah, if you like these kinds of games, you should subscribe and come back. I stream somewhat irregularly. It's usually at this time, but sometimes it's a little earlier, sometimes it's later. And I like platformers too, so I've played Cuphead and Lama Lana. I'm thinking about maybe trying a Metroidvania, like maybe even an SNES ROM hack, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, something just got attacked. Signal headache, I guess from train signals. All right. All right. Sometimes I do afternoons, so it should be a little bit earlier. But I've been streaming late lately. I think that's... Here we go. Oh, we must have run out. So that should cut pollution here. It might be worth running and killing this thing so we stop getting attacked by it. I think I'll do that. And I'll put that down. Oh, goodness. That took a whole lot of power. Oof. I hate how you can't dodge those. For now, I'm just going to take that out. Put in another one of these. Not that we've been at max for a while, but... And... Yeah, they're getting stronger. It's I'm gonna have to go back to automating and do yellow science, I think, so that I can get the power upgrade. But looks like both of these are touching pollution. So I'm hoping that the pollution will dissipate with all these modules. So I'm just going to build a bunch, maybe fill them all up to 3. That'll help a little bit. What is it going to tell me? Just some number? Oops. I can't actually see it. Oh, evolution. Uh, 0.3, is that what it is? Mostly from pollution. The problem is my chat, so that I can read what you're saying, is actually in front of it. So I have a hard time reading the console. But I think it said, there you go. 0.3 time, so time is a third of it, pollution is half of it, spawner kills are 9%. So me killing it actually isn't the problem. Alright, I got one of the spawners. I'm actually surprised. I mean, I've never looked at those numbers before, but it seems high considering that I'm not producing a whole lot of pollution. I mean, maybe I am, I don't know. But my suit has nearly run out of power, which makes me worried about going back. But there's only one more spawner, so... Is 56% pollution high or low? All right, we're being attacked back here where we have a laser turret. Oops. Shit. All right, we got the other spawner. So that's not going to be, that base isn't going to be a problem anymore. These are, but we're obviously quite weak compared to these aliens. And until we get better stuff, well, we're going to keep losing. There's things you can make, like poison capsules and grenades, that might be better for attacking these bases. I don't have a whole lot of experience with them, but might be worth making a couple of poison capsules. The hope is with these efficiency modules and all the woods that are around here, it'll absorb the pollution. Both Benna and Arnon ask, can you make a car? Car's better for raiding. Don't you like cars or tanks? I've never ridden around in cars or tanks. I've made a car a couple times, and what happens is I immediately crash into something and die. And I don't like that. And maybe the problem is I just can't drive. I've never made a tank. Generally what I do is I just get technology to the point where I get a fusion reactor, and I get about 4 exoskeletons, and they can't do much. All right. Yeah, the cars seem really dangerous. I assume that with tanks you can't just run into stuff and explode. So let's hit these fellas as we go back down. Maybe we'll try to kill this one. I've never used a nuke. No, I have enriched uranium and all that stuff, but I never did anything with it because there was so little. Like, what's the point? Why would you have a uranium reactor when you can use solar? The machine gun in the car is really fast. Oops. Nuclear pierced ammo. Yeah, but isn't it only for the... Oh god, those worms are the worst. Let's try making some poison capsules. Oops. Uh-oh. Isn't the nuclear ammo only for the machine gun? I don't want to die. I feel like if I die, I'm going to stop. Like I'm playing hardcore. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to die. All right, there goes the last of our power. So let's take a look at our power. So we might be able to get rid of grab those. Start using train. Yeah. I've made trains that just run on a straight track, and it's dangerous. It is dangerous. Let's get those. Oh, look at that. So we actually ran out of power, and now it's dark because our night vision goggles don't have power. I think I used rocket fuel for my last one because I was automating it for the rocket. I don't know which is if nuclear is better than rocket fuel. All right. I want to keep all of my power stuff in an array in one spot. So I think I'm going to extend my wall. That's probably enough for now. Oh, hello. Yeah, so I'd like to do this and deconstruct these trees, but I'd have to put in why is this so hard? Okay, construction, robots, come here, buddies. Okay, so we can finally see this in action. So the idea is I no longer have to do these by hand or use the shotgun. Rails. All right, let's research up to tanks, and we'll try tanks out. I just clicked around a bunch of stuff. What did I do? So this first. I feel like we might as well do this since we're going to build the since we're going to build power stuff here. Might as well clear it out. You can see the green border, which is the range at which they can travel. We're going to run out of power though. All right, so instead of just sitting there and waiting, I'm going to mark all this stuff. Okay, and we'll start placing more solar. No, I don't want to put lasers out because I only have like 5. So I'll just do them where they attack for now. No, yeah, I don't have energy either because all I have are these solar panels. And they suck. Once we automate yellow, we'll get some better stuff. But by working on our solar and accumulators, we'll stop having to worry about being attacked, and so we won't even need it. All right. These little robots, I feel so sorry for them. They're pathetically following me, trying to keep up. And so Benna says if I replace the batteries in my armor with solar panels, they'll recharge faster. And it's true, but actually they're only 10 kilowatts each, so I'd only get 20 more kilowatts. I mean, they would charge faster. It's just not very much. I don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't. I was hoping that it would charge up so that I could just have it in reserve, but unless we actually fill up, there's no reason to have these batteries. So it doesn't hurt. All right, so that's all of the solar panels. Let's go ahead and put the... now, I think there's a way you can say here, hey, only do trees, rocks only. Yeah. Hold the right mouse button on them. They're saved. Oh, I see. They go in your inventory. Yeah. They, I don't want to micro anything. All right, let's start putting accumulators down. And now this we might want to make a blueprint for. That's a heck of a lot nicer. If only we had enough power. All right, automobiles are done. Might as well do tanks. I'll try them out. I'm not going to promise anything because I'm worried they're going to explode somehow. But we'll see. And instead of just waiting, I can help out. Okay. So the spike at the beginning of the blue cycle is trying to recharge the accumulators. And the width of the yellow basically says how long is the steam generators running. And it's shortening. So I think we're going to need more accumulators. If it's going to explode, you can use it as a distraction. Meanwhile, you escape. That sounds pretty exciting. All right. Did we still have 30 more of these? Let's put them down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 20, something like that. And I'm going to ask the network for solar panels and accumulators. And let's build some more roboports. Actually, I must not have blueprinted this power pole, but oh well. All right, so where's the nearest roboport? Pretty far. It's going to be right in the way of copper. But we can live with that. Let's see. Now, I'm still not sure if the game is smart enough. So I'm going to get rid of these again. And the idea is, if we run out of juice, yeah. If I know that if I make them closer, they have more crossing pathways. I don't know if that matters, but yeah. So yeah, the question is, yeah, look at that. So we took them away, and the accumulators are doing a whole lot more work. So it must be splitting the effort. So the game isn't prioritizing them, which I wish that it would, but it's not. So we have to take them away to get them to stop working. But the accumulators are still going, so that looks good. Cannons stuff, I guess that's for the tank. It's a lot of blue. Yeah, I've seen that, Benna. Because I remember when I started playing this game, one of the first things I tried to do was switch to solar, and this problem has existed for a long time. And I've used it, and there's like I've seen one where a piece of wood goes around a track, and then it counts the wood and all sorts of stuff. But for me, it's a lot easier just to build too much solar. So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to keep an eye on this and make sure that we can charge our accumulators before daytime. I mean, before nighttime. Right. I'm going to put some construction bots back into the world. I'm going to just going to keep an eye on this. So let's see. So here we're seeing the solar has peaked, I think, and it's charging as fast as it can. 34 megawatts is our peak. And hopefully this is going to drop down before nighttime to suggest that we can charge the accumulators. But it kind of looks like we need more solar. So I'm going to stick a couple of these back. And let's grab some more solar. Arnon says you need more solar than accumulators. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that I want to figure it out. It's just that I couldn't care less. I know that I need more solar because I'm not charging my accumulators fast enough. Like that's that kind of thing. But actually, we're fine. So we spent this much time charging accumulators, and then it goes down because accumulators are charged. And then this is background. So basically, if that blue line is wide as the daytime, then we need more solar. I like to keep it a peak instead of a flat line. So we're good for now. I'm going to leave those 3 anyway. Okay, so what's next? Let's see what we're making in terms of blues. So not enough red circuits. We don't have enough copper. Ooh, it's been a long, long time since we didn't have enough copper. They're not getting enough ore. So it looks like we're just about reached the... Oh, we got attacked, I think. But I don't see from where. I wish those messages stayed around longer. We don't have purples either. Without bunching this up, I mean, we might as well go ahead and throw a couple of them in here while we're working. But it's time to get the next patch of copper. Looks good. All right, so that'll increase this a little bit. Then these will be a little bit more effective. But let's say I think the last thing we'll do today is we'll box in our second copper patch. So let's grab some walls, and got some lasers. Make another. What we're kind of doing today in general is just making sure we're going to have enough resources to do the next stage, which is the automation of purple and yellow, without having to venture out. All right, we don't need this many, but I'm getting that many. Making some gates. That looks pretty good. And in fact, I'm just gonna, since I have these, I'm just gonna put them down. All right, looks pretty good. So, the next copper patch is just above us, and it's pretty darn big. Now, something that's kind of interesting is that our copper production is at the bottom of our base. So the question is, do we want to run copper to the bottom? And I think so. I don't want to deal with redoing all the copper stuff. So we're going to run the source of copper down and feed it into this network. So let's, we could actually, it's so close to our base, honestly, I think Mike would just want to box it into our base. So let's do that. If we want to be really aggressive, we can box it from this other corner. Let's see what the tree situation looks like. Yeah, I think we should do that. So we're gonna make our base massively bigger. But that's good. It'll give us a lot of room to make to automate things that we haven't even come to. I've mentioned the final goal is to launch a rocket, and it takes a lot of stuff to do. Let's do that. And if we wanted, we could actually start, we can move our copper furnaces to the top of our base, which we may do eventually, just depending on how much we need. All right, I think that's it for the trees. So now let's run down, let's let these guys catch up. All right, let's raise the wall from the left side and try to match it up. Don't, okay. And I think it's pretty safe to say this is one of the corners of our base. It's good to put a turret there. And now we have boxed in which thing, Benna? Making things rectangular or what? But yeah, we've boxed in quite a bit of new space, and most importantly, space that contains copper. And as you've seen me do, let's grab those for the future. But we'll start a row of these, and maybe how do I want to do this? Something like this. I think that's good. Oops, it jumped. So there's a start. It's going to come down. Now, where do we want to run it? I wish I had power. I really wish I had power. It's so slow without the exoskeletons. I think we want to run it just to the right of these other belts. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring it over. Like this. All right, now here's our old wall, so we can clear this. Maybe I'll, just to make sure I don't really goof something up, I only want to collect walls and gates. Oh, we're out of belts. That was surprising. Not placing the wall around the pipe. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right, because it doesn't need to be rectangular. I don't know whether it's true, but I feel like the aliens tend to attack corners. But I could be wrong. I mean, it also might just be an old thing. What do I need? I was going to make some more construction robots. All right, so we got to pick up some yellow belts. So I think what I'll do is I'll run this down, I'll power it up, and then that'll be it for this for tonight. Yellow belts down here. That is enough, probably. So I'm thinking I'll run it like right here and then go underground and then come out there. I'm not sure. I could be making that up about the corners. I mean, so far tonight they've attacked us on flat walls, so I don't even have evidence from tonight. But I'm not going to worry about this being goofy like it is. My guess is that what's going to happen is eventually we're going to make like all of our iron and our copper here in the same place. But for now, I'm going to run this through the base and in this terrible zigzag. Because the point of this playthrough is not to worry. And that's what I'm doing. So let's power it up. I'll just run this straight. And Now we've got some fresh copper coming down. Should be fine. Coming, 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 coming. Okay. And then we'll get rid of that. And all we have to do is feed it into one of these belts. That's the easiest thing. I think I'm just going to feed it into this left one. And voila! One is played, there's not to worry. Yeah, I mean, totally. My mantra is be reactive, not proactive. When something happens, we're going to deal with it at that moment, and we're going to try not to do things that are annoying to deal with problems that don't exist yet. That's my goal. So in the meantime, somehow, maybe it was those couple that we added, but we actually have plenty of copper now. I'm going to take one more look through just to sort of understand what's going on. So we don't have enough copper production, but we have enough copper ore. So we'll have to extend this array. In actual case, maybe it might be time to do the copper at the top of the base and run the plates down. But I think that's where I'm going to stop for tonight. I am glad that some of you enjoyed this enough to stick around, and I hope you come back next time. So thanks for watching.